Hi, I'm Chris Devana for Tundra Restaurant Supply. In this video, we're going to show you how to troubleshoot some common setbacks and easy maintenance repairs for your Rinnai commercial gas rice cooker. Some tools that you may need are a Phillips head screwdriver, an adjustable crescent wrench, needle nose pliers, and optional, some pipe cleaner to clean out your tubing. Often can be found in arts and crafts supply stores. So the first common setback to troubleshoot for your Rinnai commercial gas rice cooker is there's no flame or the pilot light won't light itself. First thing to check is your quick disconnect gas line all the way up to your Rinnai gas cooker. Remember that this valve needs to be parallel or in line for it being turned on. Perpendicular is turned off. The first thing to check. From there, if it's still not lighting and your gas is being hooked up to the machine itself, you're most likely looking at a clogged pilot orifice that we need to replace. We'll do that next. So the first thing you need to do is click your ignition button a couple times. You shouldn't have to do this more than 3 times, and you should see a small flame behind your pilot housing right underneath here. If your rice cooker is getting gas but your pilot light won't stay lit, your problem is most likely to build up in the pilot orifice, which supplies gas to the pilot itself. If your pilot lights, hold your ignition switch down for about 30 seconds. And once you release it, if the pilot goes out, most likely your problem is the thermocouple. So the thermocouple is a safety device that ensures the pilot light is lit before the machine actually supplies constant gas to the burners. If your thermocouple is bad, it will prevent the pilot and the burners from staying lit. So once you identify a good and correct gas line connection, the next thing to do is actually tackle and repair and maintain your pilot orifice. So before you perform any kind of maintenance or repairs to your equipment, be sure that it is always off and disconnected from any gas line. Then from here, we see there's one little screw holding on the drip pan. We're going to go ahead and unscrew that. And the drip pan slides right off. So the pilot orifice is located right behind this brass nut, which is attached to this aluminum gas tube, which is very fragile. First, we're going to take this clip on the thermocouple and undo this. Set that aside. Just bend your thermocouples out of the way. From here, we're going to see a screw on the pilot assembly that we need to undo. And go ahead and set that aside. From there, you can just bend this slightly out of the way. So when removing this brass nut to get access to your pilot orifice, keep in mind and remember that this aluminum gas tubing is very fragile, and we're going to want to twist off the pilot assembly while holding that brass nut still. So this little brass tip right here is your pilot orifice. Oftentimes in this little tube in the pilot assembly can get clogged, and that's where we can get our pipe cleaner. Just take your pipe cleaner, stick it right down the tube, and just kind of scrub it out. So this is a .25 pilot orifice. That number refers to the size of this little pinprick hole on the back, and this is not interchangeable with any other orifice. So be sure you have the .25 orifice for your pilot assembly. All right, so once we get our new .25 pilot orifice into our pilot assembly, it's just a matter of screwing this back on in place to this aluminum coil. Again, this aluminum coil is fragile, so we don't want to actually twist the nut. Just want to get the pilot assembly finger tight, then make sure it's nice and snug with our wrench holding onto that nut. From there, we can go ahead and place this back down onto our housing for our pilot assembly. An easy way to get this screw back in is just go ahead and put the screw on the housing itself and aim with that. And that's how you replace your pilot orifice. And then be sure that we put our thermocouple back into its place. And the clip, be sure when you're using your clip, the hoop is for your finger to hold to push it back in place. The single-sided end is for you to actually brace the thermocouple in. So if you recognize that your pilot light is igniting, but it won't stay lit, what you're looking at is your thermocouple itself needs replacing. So again, remember, this little clip here was for the thermocouple. Take that out. We got a little screw down here that attaches the thermocouple to the gas valve. And then from there, you're going to have to try and get the plastic clip with some needle nose pliers. This is probably the most tricky part, just because it's a tight area to get to. So take a look at the clip on this thermocouple. It just slides right into place and it clicks, and once it clicks, it's locked itself into place. To get it out, you're always getting the needle nose pliers right on these ends and just squeezing it and pulling it right out. So your new thermocouple will probably come pretty straight. However, you'll have to bend the coils as need be. First thing first is you'll probably want to get that plastic clip to secure in first. Then from there, we can bend everything else around as need be and as necessary to get thermocouple back into place. Again, getting that little screw on the thermocouple might be kind of hard to aim. So you can go ahead and put it in the cable first, then just point it right down into the hole. And last but not least, our thermocouple clip. Again, the single-sided non-looped end goes in the back. The hoop goes over the couple and just clamps right back into place. And that's how you replace your thermocoupler. So I'm Chris Tavano for Tundra Restaurant Supply, and that's how you diagnose and perform some common repairs to your Rinnai gas commercial rice cooker. Here's to a better mise en place.